Yes, hello and welcome to the very first Sportsline on Made in Leeds with me, Alex Simmons. This show is your number one source for local sports news, features and all the talk. Whether you're a fan of the Whites, the Rhinos or any of the other region sports teams, join me in the studio is Josh Warrington. First though, let's see what's coming up on tonight's show. Leeds stay top of the table despite losing at Millwall, Huddersfield draw at Leicester and the Rhinos thrash Salford. Plus, views from the terrace, we hear from Heidi, who was at the Den on Saturday, and Will, who saw Bradford beat Rotherham. An unsung hero, we take a look behind the scenes at Garforth Town Football Club. Plus, we take a trip to Newfoundland Cricket Club as they take on the very first Ball Goals Challenge, and we've got Leeds Rhinos number one Ashton Golden on the line from the club's presentation night, talking about where the Rhinos are at, ready for the big one. So it's an action-packed show tonight, but don't forget, Sportsline is all about you getting involved. Were you at the Den on Saturday to see Leeds lose for the first time this season? Huddersfield fans, were you there at the 1-1 draw? Is it a point gained against Leicester or 2 points dropped? And Rhinos fans, let's be honest, are you excited about the prospect of more silverware? Do you think the team will go all the way to the grand final? If so, we need to hear from you. This show's about you. You can call us now, the number's on screen, 03333 403 703. You can also tweet us. We're at Made in Leeds on Twitter. Use the hashtag Sportsline or just head to our Facebook page and search for Made in Leeds TV. We are very privileged tonight to have such a great guest, an icon of Leeds, the Leeds Warrior, and hopefully very soon the mandatory world title contender, huge White fan, Josh Warrington. Josh, thanks for joining us. How are you, mate?
Very well, Alex. I'm excited to be here on the first Sportsline show and middle of training to break off, but glad to be here tonight.
5 weeks to go, mate. Is this like the business end for you now? Just getting the preparation right, leading into the big fight?
Yeah, I never really stopped my graft. You know, I'm always in the gym, always trying to improve, always trying to better myself. But this is where the cooker gets turned up a couple of notches and the heat really starts, getting pounded on in training.
Mate.
It's really busy, but not long to go, and everything's coming into shape.
The arena is a special place on fight night. It's always packed. Your fans are so passionate, but you need a really big following for this next fight because it is the big one.
It is the big one, Simo. Yeah, this is the final eliminator. I mean, we've had eliminators before, but this is the final eliminator, and win this one, then my next one is definitely a world title fight.
You're also a massive fan of the Whites. Last week, they got beat for the first time this season. We're going to talk about it. We've got Kevin on the line now. Kevin, how are you? Thanks for calling Sportsline.
Hi guys, how you doing? Nice to speak to you, Simo, Josh. Yep, great stuff.
Hello, Kevin.
Kevin, talk to us about Leeds United, mate. What happened on Saturday?
Yep. Obviously, it was a big disappointment losing your first league match of the season, but to be fair, Millwall deserved to win. They sort of bullied us a little bit. I thought we were a bit weak all round on Saturday. Steve Morrison won everything in the air nearly, and Jed Wallace on the wing was, crossing at every opportunity. We just had a torrid 90 minutes. You can't say that very often so far this season because obviously we've got off to a flying start, and luckily we're still on top of the league with Ipswich to come on Saturday in the league. So still everything to look forward to, really.
Josh, let me bring you in there because the Whites have been so good this year. 5 wins, the best start to any Leeds manager ever.
Yep.
Are you still got confidence in Thomas Christiansen?
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, I think Thomas Christian has come and he shocked us all. I think no one expecting us to get off the start that we have done. But, we're always needing this test. And going down to the Den, Millwall, it's always going to be a tough atmosphere for the new boys. And we're always waiting to see if they were capable of playing in hostile away games. I don't think none of them have been found out. I think he just would have shocked at system and they can learn from it and come again. But, I'm not worried. We were playing well at all with the team's getting behind us. The crowd are getting behind the team.
Yep.
Ellen Road's looking busy again and everything's looking positive, the club.
20,000 season tickets still. Kevin, Burnley tomorrow night, what's your prediction?
It's going to be a tough game against a Premier League side, but I think we've got a lot to prove from Saturday now, and I think we could surprise a few people and maybe get to the last 16 and go into the game on Saturday full of confidence against Ipswich.
Do you believe
everything to play for?
Do you believe Leeds are going to go up this season automatically?
I'm hoping so. I think every Leeds fan wants that. Whether it'll happen is another matter. I just wanted to ask Josh, actually, what he thought Neil Harris said on Saturday when he said if it was a boxing match, it would have been stopped by the referee. I mean, would he agree with that analogy?
Cheers, Kevin. Thank you for calling our first ever Sportsline phone-in. Josh, you've got to agree with that. We're going to go now. It's time to know your club. Now, we all think we know our club better than anyone else, don't we? Well, here on Sportsline, we put in that to the test by quizzing your knowledge. This week, we're at Ellen Road, where Harvey McMillan has been along to see whether you really do know your club. Play along at home and let us know how you get on.
This week we are joined by Dave. Hello, Dave. Hiya. You've got 60 seconds. Hello. 3, 2, 1. Who is the third most expensive Leeds signing of all time?
Seth Johnson.
It's Robbie Fowler. Pavel Proncibicki also arrived in the summer, but from which club?
Malmo.
Correct. Leeds reached the FA Cup final in 1973, which ended in a 1-0 loss to Sunderland. Who scored the winning goal?
Ian Porterfield.
Correct. Who does Gary Monk now manage?
Middlesbrough.
Yes. How old was James Milner when he made his debut for Leeds?
16.
Correct. Which player started his career at Leeds and ended it at Melbourne City?
Harry Kewell.
Correct. Before Thomas Christiansen, who was the last non-British Leeds manager?
Uwe Rosler.
Correct. What was the score when Leeds played Aston Villa at home last season?
2-0 to Leeds.
Correct. Well done. You've ended up with 7 right there. Well done. Very good.
A pretty decent start there from Dave, a total of 7. If you think you can beat him, look out for Harvey outside your club stadium. He'll be doing the rounds over the course of this season. OK, back to the action then. And Thomas Christiansen takes the defeat for the first time this season in a 1-0 loss at Millwall. It's an intimidating place to go, but plenty of Leeds fans made their way down to London. And moments after the final whistle, Heidi sent us her thoughts on the match.
Just lost our first game of the season. We're down to 10 men for the last 10 minutes due to Janssen going off injured, and we'd already had our 3 subs on. But Leeds fans are in good spirits, still safe, we're top of the league. So at the end of the day, that's all that matters. We'll go from strength to strength, and we're going to have our ups and downs, but marching on together.
Right, we've got Heidi on the line now. Have you escaped from Millwall all right, Heidi? Are you OK?
Yeah, we were lucky, but some of the Leeds fans weren't so lucky around the ground. I've heard of some getting beaten up outside, which wasn't very good. But, you know, luckily we were OK.
Yeah, tell us about the game. Let's forget about the crowd. What happened down on the pitch?
To be honest, I don't think we really turned up. I think the selection, we needed a few battlers in there, and I don't think Hernandez is one for a battle out there, and I don't think Anita was up to it either. In one sense, I'd have rather have had Berardi brought on at half-time along with Vieira, just to give us that bit of steel. May have made a difference, but not 100% sure.
Josh, would you agree with Heidi there? Do they need some more battlers in there?
I would definitely have to agree with Heidi there, but I was just shaking my head, nodding my head, sorry. I think games like that at Millwall, away...
Sean Derry, get him back.
That's what I mean, hostile. You need someone who's going to take the game by the scruff of the neck and get straight into them, and we've got some very talented players, but them who may shy away from a tackle. I mean, I think likes of Calvin Phillips, he likes a bit of rough and tough, but we need a bit of old experienced player.
Let's get Batty back. Let's phone David Batty. Let's get David Batty back.
Yeah.
You need a bit of Batty. Heidi, are you still confident going into this season? Are Leeds going to go up automatically? Do you believe?
Well, I've said we've got to aspire to do that, whatever happens. Forget about the playoffs. We've got to go up automatically because we don't turn up for playoffs anyway. So that's got to be our aspiration. And I still think, we've got a good chance of doing it. it was bound to happen sometime that we're going to get beaten, and you know, hopefully it's a learning curve.
Big thanks to Heidi. Thank you for calling in Sportsline.
Thank you.
Josh, obviously, do Leeds need anything else to make that transition?
Well, again, we first of all, after losing Chris Woods, we thought, do we need strong firepower up front? But goals are coming from all over the pitch, so that's good to see. I think just a bit of stability. Know what is his best team, and then go from there. Right,
Leeds are scoring fun, but it's time for Who Are You? It's an action-packed show. Just before the break, we've got a couple of clues for you now. You play along at home. Who is this person? There's some tricky ones. Check it out.
I'm 5'6" and I weigh 119 pounds.
I was named Sports Personality of the Year in 2002.
Some tricky ones there. Tweet us at Maiden Leeds if you know who it is. Please come back after the break. Unsung hero, we head over to Garforth Town Football Club to meet Brian Close, the man who keeps the club running from the top down. And ball goals. Newfoundland Cricket Club have enjoyed a successful season on the pitch, but how do they fare at different spots? Stick around to find out. We'll also have Leeds Rhinos fullback Ashton Golding on the line talking about the upcoming semi-finals. Hello and welcome back to the first edition of Sportsline with me, Alex Simmons. Don't forget, this show's about you guys, so pick up the phone and give us a call. There's plenty more to rattle through, including all of this. We speak to Josh Warrington, this man, about his upcoming fight at the First Direct Arena. Plus, Team of the Week, Tom Feeney's on the line to tell us who caught his eye over the weekend. And of course, we want your views on Leeds' losses this weekend, and we speak to Rhinos fullback Ash Golding live in the show. Yes, don't forget, Sportsline is all about you airing your opinions with us. If you're a fan of any sports team in West Yorkshire, this is your chance to get it all off your chest. You can call us now. The number is on screen, 033 33 403 703. You can also tweet us at Made in Leeds on Twitter. Use the hashtag Sportsline, or head over to our Facebook page. Just search Made in Leeds TV. Right, now then, let's talk about the Rhinos for a little bit. You're a big Rhinos fan, I know, Josh. A big win on Friday. Salford 44 points, losing to the Rhinos. One league game left before the semi-finals. We've got Ashton Golding, the Rhinos #1, on the line. Ash, how are you, mate?
I'm very well, thank you, Simon. How are you, mate?
Oh, we're awesome. Sat in the studio with Josh Warrington. You must have been happy about getting your shirt back this week. You've taken it back from Jack Walker, back in the team. Did it feel good to be out there with the boys?
Oh, yeah, mate, it did. I was just playing with a constant smile on my face. Anything we did, be it a mistake or something good, it was just a smile. Just to being out there with the lads and going through what they have to go through each week. Sitting on the sidelines, you can only feel it so much, but when you're actually out there, it's just a massive buzz and a big smile on my face again. So, yeah, I was happy. After a tough year last year, Josh, the boys have bounced back this year, sitting second in the league.
Yeah.
How important is it for the city that the Rhinos are doing well?
Obviously, we're used to Rhino success, especially over the last couple of years, and obviously last year we were like a bit of a year off, but with this year being a special year with Danny Maggs and Rob Burrow, finishing their games at the Rhinos, it'd be nice to finish it with a big, send off for them guys.
Ashton, business end of the season, Huddersfield away this week, and it's a home semi-final. Who do you want, who don't you want in that semi-final?
Oh, that's a very, very good question, that, Simo, pal. I'm just looking 1 week at a time. I can't take my time playing for granted at the moment. I've got some great players around me who are fighting for that shirt, so I'll take each week as it comes. So now I'm solely focused on Huddersfield, and then I can personally start preparing for the semi-final. But I don't know. They're all great teams out there with a lot of history in each club, so they all know how to win, as do we. So it's going to be an interesting one regardless of who we get.
Ash, I've got to ask you, mate, Josh touched on it there. What's it meant for you to play with such greats of the club like Danny Maguire and Rob Burrow before the retirement?
It's unbelievable. You know, I think a lot of players will talk about experience and how invaluable it is, but this genuinely is to play with two greats and legends of the game. It can only improve me, and I'm a willing learner. You know, I'll put my pride and I'll put my ego behind myself to be proven wrong and shown how to do it by them two. And you know, they do it time and time again. Showed against Salford how good they are, and they're still teaching us. So it's amazing to be able to have the opportunity to play with them. But you know, when they both move on to pastures, you know, we'll all stay friends, we'll all stay in touch, and it's not like they won't keep helping me. So it's really good to be able to play alongside them. Yeah.
Ash, thanks for calling
Cheers,
me. I know
Ash.
you're at the presentation tonight. Best of luck tonight. I'll see you there later. I'll get my tux on.
No worries.
I'll see you down at Headingley. Thanks very much, Ash Golden. Okay, it's time now to go back to grassroots level where everybody started out. Those of us who play know there are plenty of unsung heroes who keep their clubs running on a weekly basis. And this week we're going over to Garforth Town. There's a whole host of volunteers who make the club run smoothly, but the main man is Brian Close. His official title is chairman, but that doesn't stop him mowing the pitch, hanging the kit up, and even making cups of tea with everyone. Let's go and meet Brian Close.
I think we must be mad really, because it does take your life. It's part of your life. Everything you plan is around the club. There's lots of things behind the scenes that people don't realise. Most people think it's a 90-minute game. We're here sort of 7 days a week. It's like 24 hours a day. It's just planning and making sure we've got volunteers in place, particularly for match days, because there's lots of different jobs. We also have volunteers up through the week doing odd jobs around the place.
If Brian wasn't here, the club would actually go. That would be it. But he keeps it up to standard and things like that. Yeah.
You know, to think he'd never done job before he come here. Yeah, he's a great fella. One of the best we've had up here.
Things he doesn't take credit for it as well. He's eager to say that everyone else is involved as well. He's never looked for praise or anything like that. He's just always just done it for the love of the football, really, for the love of the football club.
It's just the buzz that keeps you going, and I suppose, you know, we're trying to keep the club here for the community, but it's passion. You know, it's a passion, I suppose. It's like a hobby, but it's just a passion.
Amazing stuff. What a guy Brian is. Josh, can you tell us about any unsung heroes in local boxing?
I think they're all the heroes of the coaches and the you know, the people behind the scenes who put their time in. Some of them don't get paid in amateurs, and the time and effort they put in, I think they're the heroes who get them kids into boxing.
Yeah, without a doubt. If you know an unsung hero at your club who deserves recognition, get in touch, let us know. Just email sportsline@maidenleeds.tv and your unsung hero could be on the show next week. Let's head back now to the calls. We want your views. We've got Dan on the line. He was at the game on Saturday, Millwall away. Dan, how are you? What have you got to say to us on Sportsline?
Evening, mate. Thanks very much for taking me on.
Evening, Dan.
I'm really pleased with Leeds so far this season. We were disappointed on Saturday. I think we got dragged into Millwall's game. It's a very intimidating place to go towards. But I think Christiansen put an attacking team out there. He went for the win, and I can't really fault him for that. He tried to make changes at half-time to combat Millwall, and it just didn't come off for us that day. No team's ever going to go unbeaten throughout a championship season. It was going to happen eventually. So there's no real massive qualms about us losing, to be fair.
Great stuff, Dan. I think, Josh, would you agree that the Championship is the most difficult league in football to get out of? And do you think Christiansen himself is learning as he goes along, he's like learning on the job. He's never been in it before.
Yeah, I think the Championship's an unpredictable division. I mean, look at Newcastle last season. I think they lost about 10 games or something like that, but you know, still went up automatically. And I think that's the thing about this division. Anybody could beat anybody on a good day, and little differences like hostile stadiums and stuff like that can go in, you know, a team's favour, so to speak. But yeah, it is one of them things. As long as you get a good run going, then I think that's what you need, a good bit of momentum to make that push.
Dan, are you really happy with the club this year? Because I can't believe the changes of Leeds, the communication with the fans, even down to the Instagram. It's so positive, everything's great. Are you happy with the club this year?
Yeah, very happy. There just seems to be something better about it. There seems to be a buzz around the club. I mean, when you see 31,500 fans come for a Tuesday night game at Ellen Road, that's been unheard of. I think at the same time last year, they had about 16,000 on a Tuesday night game. And it just shows what winning, a positive mentality, a good team, a good owner, it just shows what it can do for this club. We're in a massive city, and we just need to push on now. We need to make sure that we make use of this fan base that we've got, and push on and try and make the Premiership, because that's essentially where we belong.
Right. Dan, does it kill you that Huddersfield are in the Premier League? Does that kill you as a fan?
It did last year, but then I don't really like to judge ourselves against other clubs. Huddersfield did well last year. They did it on a budget. They showed that anyone can get out of this Championship, even though it is a horrible league. But it's never nice to see your local rivals above you in the Premiership and actually seeing them do well. But hopefully we'll be there soon and we can start making some history like they're doing at the moment.
Dan, I've got to stop you there. Thank you for your time, mate. Thanks for your call.
You.
It's time now for another clue of who are you. If you haven't got it yet, this clue may well help.
I'm 5'6" and I weigh 119 pounds.
I was named Sports Personality of the Year in 2002.
I am the female master of the ultimate race, the marathon.
Still to come, we've got Team of the Week. Tom Feeney will be on the line to tell us which non-league team puts in the best performance this weekend. And Josh previews his upcoming fight in the First of Victorina. Stick around for that and more on Sportsline. Hello and welcome back to Sportsline with me, Alex Simmons, and this week's guest, Josh, the Leeds Warrior at Warrington. If you want to have a chat, pick up the phone now. Call us, please call us. Rhinos fan, Bradford fan, Warrington, anyone fan, get in and phone us right now. 03333 403 703. Also, tweet us at Made in Leeds. We've got loads still to come right here on tonight's show. Josh is up against Dennis Seelan next month. Will it be another win at the arena? And ball goal, Simon at Newfoundland Cricket Club is our first competitor in the challenge. And of course, we want your views on all the weekend's action, no matter which West Yorkshire team you support. That number to call is 03333 403 703. You can also tweet us at Made in Leeds on Twitter. Use the hashtag Sportsline, or head to our Facebook page to search Made in Leeds TV. It's really important that you get your call into us right now. We need to hear your thoughts on everything sport. Josh, let's talk about the fight. How excited do you get going into fight time?
Well, now like you say, we spoke earlier about the final preparation. We've only 4 or 5 weeks to go. Little things start to happening, like start getting my kit made, into final bits of sparring and fitness and training. So it all starts get ramping up now, and you start really focusing on the task in hand.
Tell us about the man you're fighting, Seelan. It says J-Lad, but it's Seelan, isn't it?
Yeah, well, we know it's Seelan. We just read it as it is on paper, and Seelan, he says it's J-Lad. But, he's an unbeaten fighter, former Olympian. He got picked by the IBF to fight for the final eliminator.
Yeah.
So, you know, I've just got to deal with him in hand. You know, everybody knows the fight that I want. It's the big one with IBF champion Lee Selby, and he's the man standing in front of me. So, you know, regardless of all the other fights that I've had before, this is the most important one in my career.
Mate, it's going to be a sellout event at the arena. How much does it mean to you that the whole city has come behind you? Rhinos fans, United fans, everyone's behind Josh Warrington. You've been a real figurehead for local boxing, and hopefully sooner rather than later you'll be in that world title fight.
Well, you know, one good thing is United Leeds. You know,
Yeah.
like you say, the Leeds United fans, the Leeds Rhinos fans, they pack the arena out. But one thing, what I'm really happy about, Alex, is the amount of local talent on this card. You've got the likes of Damo Jones, you've got the likes of Jack Bateson, Jack Daniels is making his debut, and West Yorkshire fighters such as Tyrone Nurse and Darren Tetley of Bradford. So he's got a home feel about it, and that's one thing that I've always buzzed about. You know, getting the local boxers, getting them a chance to get, you know, have their little spot in the limelight.
There's some great local boxing and there's some fantastic gyms in Leeds. Jack Bateson, let's touch on him because he's a real special talent.
He is. Jack's a very special talent. I was down at his fight, his debut. It was the top amateur was Jack, and he's one of them who'll be fighting for titles within next year or two to come. He's a very tricky boxer, got a good boxing brain, and he's one to watch out for.
This time, coming up to a fight, what are the little things that you do with the 1%ers that get you ready for such a big occasion?
Well, you know me, I'm trained by my dad, and it's always
Is that hard?
It is difficult, you know. It's a personal relationship. He puts a lot into it, and I want to give him the best I can. And sometimes we have a disagreement, and it can end up fallouts. But eventually, when we do get the win, and we always do, you know, it makes it a little bit sweeter. But you know, he'll start really tweaking the training and really studying on the opponent, and then come up with a game plan, and this is where we perfect everything in the gym right now, and come fight night it'll pay off, and we get the victory.
You've also had some great people leading you out to the ring. Vinnie Jones, Jamie Peacock. Who's going to be walking you out, or is it a bit of a secret?
Well, I always like to keep it as a bit of a surprise for fight week. I've had a few former Leeds players getting contacts with me, so you know, keep tuned on my social medias, and you'll find out on fight week.
I can't wait to find out. I can't wait to be there. What date is the big fight?
October 21st, First Direct Arena. Tickets are still available. Like I say, a massive card. There's 5 title fights on it, and this is my big one. And I want all support I can get. I want it to be a bear pit. I want it to be hostile. So when this guy walks out, he doesn't know what's hit him. So you know, come support me. This is a journey to the world title, and get through this one. Then, you know, I can't be denied. You know, former promoters have said before that you know, Josh is fighting an eliminator. This is a final one. I can't stress that enough. After this, it's on to the big one, baby. It's
Leeds. Okay, let's head away from the big leagues for a minute or two. On the line now is the local non-league football guru, Tom Feeney. Hello, Tom. How are you, mate?
I'm not too bad, thank you. How are you?
I'm great, mate. Tell us a little bit about local football. What's happening? Who's been catching your eye?
Well, I'll tell you one team that really has caught my eye, the team of the week, I've got to say, is Knaresborough Town. They gained a 3-0 win against Winterton Rangers on Saturday, and in terms of that, that's quite an impressive feat to win 3-0 away from home, but their record so far is 11 played, 10 wins, 1 draw. They've only conceded 5 goals as well, and they currently top the NCEL Division 1. Now, to those that don't know, that is basically Division 10, so you're in a position where if you finish top, you gain promotion. There's also the playoff places to contend for as well, but it really has been a great start for Knaresborough Town. They brought in the likes of Greg Anderson in the summer, and games against sides like Leeds United's under-18 seem to have really helped them during pre-season, and they're flying at the moment, and quite rightly sitting top of the table and getting the team of the week.
Absolutely outstanding, mate. Now, we all know Jamie Vardy, his journey to the champions from non-league football. Have you seen any Jamie Vardys on your travels? Any players that you can tip for the top?
I tell you this now, it's so hard to predict it, because I remember, the likes of Jamie Vardy, I watched him play once for FC Halifax Town, and at that time, there was this real feeling of, he could make it. But I'll tell you one player who really stood out, Lee Gregory, who obviously is at Millwall now. So it's so hard to just pick out one or two players. But I tell you this now, as the season progresses, more and more players do seem to be getting picked up by teams in League One, League Two. And, there might be the odd one or two that are ending up at Leeds United. I know one or two Leeds scouts have been going to non-league grounds over the last few weeks. So it does seem like that Jamie Vardy story really has led to the interest in non-league football really being picked up by teams.
Without a doubt. Let's get some more callers. We need to get you on the phone. The number is 033 33 403 703. Get on the phone now. Leeds Rhinos fans, Leeds United fans, Huddersfield fans, Bradford fans, give us a call now. Josh, do you like going down and seeing a local game, walking the dog down and seeing a few of the boys knock it about on a Saturday afternoon?
Yeah, well, a lot of the boys who come and support me. I sponsor one of the local teams, the Open FC. Come on, Open. I do like to watch because, like you say, like the caller said, then you do see a lot of the future of Jamie Vardy's, and you often wondered if they just pushed a little bit harder, could they potentially go on and make it a big time?
Tom, let me bring you in there because I love going to see local football. I played local football myself for the Amaranth and for Kippax and a few different teams. But mainline social, tell me, which teams out there are the real tough teams, like the real enforcers in the amateur leagues?
Well, I tell you now, you look at each division, there are always teams that really catch eye. One team, I've got to say, is in the same division as Knaresborough Town, is Yorkshire Amateur, who are a team that just this season already, their goal-scoring record is, quite honestly, it's insane. Right now, after 11 games, their goal difference is plus 35, and they've won a few games 8-0. They've got a player called Ash Flynn, and you talk about Jamie Vardy. Ash Flynn is the one that I know a few clubs have been looking at. Whether or not he'd make the move, I'm not sure, but they are a team that really have impressed. And another one as well, Pontefract Collieries, who last season gained promotion from the NTL Division 1. They're now in the NTL Premier. And you know what? They're dominating that league as well. They're top of that division, 24 points from 9 games. And then you've also got your teams like UFC Halifax Towns, who went to Leyton Orient, a team with, a much bigger budget last Tuesday, and gained a 3-0 win. The likes of Tom Denton really impressing there. So there's some fantastic Yorkshire teams in non-league football that have their names and ambitions as well to be a football league team, especially with FC Halifax Town in the near future.
Tom, thank you so much for your call. We'll speak to you next week. Keep your eye out, keep your ear to the ground. Now, if you're struggling at home, find out who is this week's Who Are You, here's another clue to help you out. It's time for Who Are You?
I'm 5'6" and I weigh 119 pounds.
I was named Sports Personality of the Year in 2002.
I am the female master of the ultimate race, the marathon.
I am 3-time winner of the London Marathon.
Surely you've got it by now. We'll reveal the answer after the break. But if you know it is, get in touch on social media now. Please remember to give us a call. We're right now coming up in part 4. Ball goals. Simon's the man put forward by Newfoundland Cricket Club. Stick around to see how he does. And more views from the terrace. Bradford fans, let us know your thoughts after Saturday's 1-0 win. Hello and welcome back to Sportsline. I'm here tonight with Josh Warrington. So get your calls. If you want to speak to him now. 03333 403 703. Get your calls in now. Now then, each week we'll be visiting a local club who will be taking on the 5-ball challenge. It does exactly what it says on the tin. 5 different balls with one target to score a goal or kick it over the post, or in this case, bowl it some wickets. This week we're going to Newfoundland Cricket Club, where Simon had a go at bowling all the balls. This is how he got on.
Ladies and gents, this is Ball Goals. Simon's our competitor this week. Cheer up, mate. The aim is to hit the wickets with a football, a rugby ball, an emoji ball, a huge purple gym ball, and because we're at a cricket club, a cricket ball. Take it away. Oh, he's done it. Fantastic bowling for Simon. Look at that for a celebration. Let's take a glance at that replay then. Lovely bowling.
You are terrible at football as well.
Not too much encouragement from the sidelines. Can Simon prove them wrong? No, he can't. Much better at cricket than he is at football, it seems. Now it's on to the emoji ball. Can he fare any better? Wow. Wow. That is atrocious. Rugby ball now. It looks good. Oh, it's veered away at the last minute.
Right, surely can't miss it.
Famous last words from Simon.
Ready?
Big purple gym ball. It's much bigger than the stumps. Surely this is going to hit. Oh, Simon Lambert, New Farnley Cricket Club, 1 out of 5.
What a stinker.
What a stinker indeed. That was atrocious.
Simon, hang your head in shame. How you miss a set of wickets with a yoga ball? What's going on there, mate?
I can't throw a ball. I got no room to talk, but I tell you what, even I could have hit that. I'm telling you.
If you think you can beat us, email us sportsline@maidenleeds.tv and you can get yourself down and involved with oddballs. It was terrible. You got to do better than that. Josh, looking forward to the fight. Obviously coming up very, very soon.
Yes.
People coming down 21st of October. Just reiterating that date.
Yes, yeah, 21st of October, Leeds Arena. Always a good night. Always a good atmosphere. Big stack card, around 10 to 14 fights on, 5 title fights and myself in a final eliminator.
Yeah, I can't wait. We've got another call on the line. It's Palmer, a big Leeds United fan. Palmer, how are you, mate? Welcome to Sportsline.
Alex, I'm very well, thanks. Josh, how you doing? You alright?
I'm alright, Palmer.
Outstanding, mate. Talk to us about Leeds. Tell us about your passion for the club.
Well, Saturday was a bit disappointing. Expected to go down and get 3 points, but Millwall's a tough place to go and get 3 points, so we haven't got much of a good record down there. But we didn't play well against Birmingham the week before either, but I'm confident that Christiansen will get the boys rallied up again for tomorrow night and beat Burnley and remind Chris Wood and Charlie Taylor what they're missing out on.
Without a doubt, mate. Chris Wood. To be honest, Josh, does it matter as much now with Lesogho? Because I know Andy Ireland, who works for us, the Rascal, he's waxing lyrical about Lesogho.
Yeah, well, obviously he made a brilliant start, didn't he? He made a brilliant start. Gone a bit quiet since then, but like I said earlier, the goals are coming from all over the pitch, so that's what we needed. I think last time a lot of pressure were on Chris Wood's shoulders. Would he be able to have done the same this season? I doubt it. Would have been man-marked out of pitch, so it's good that we're getting goals from elsewhere.
Palmer, do you think we're missing Chris Wood? Do you think the club need to look at something else in January, or do you think that the squad's good enough for automatic promotion in its current format?
Personally, I think the squad is good enough. We're getting goals around each position now. Obviously, O'Kane or Phillips, they look like completely different players from last year. Even Liam Cooper, last year, nobody wanted anywhere near the starting lineup, but club captain this year, I think we've got a good squad. We've got Ekuban, who we've not seen that much. Obviously, he's been injured at Sunderland. So we've got some good players in there, and I think we've got a very good opportunity this year to go up, and this is our time, I think. The city's buzzing, everyone's buzzing. Players, staff, it's our time now to go up and show these Arsenal fans and Liverpool fans what Leeds United is all about.
I think it'd be great for the city to get Leeds back in.
I'd just like to ask Palmer, it's still early doors, but who do you think you're the standout player that is so far for Leeds? Is it one of the new boys, or is it someone like your Liam Cooper, who didn't have a great season last season but has come in and really shown this season?
I think in terms of a standout player, you've got to give it to Alioski or Sez. They're just cut from a different cloth. They're great. Technically, you can just tell they're a different class. But personally, as I mentioned it last season, at the back end of last season, Luke Ayling, he's just Mr. Consistent. You're going to get an 8 out of 10 performance from him every week, regardless. And he's just solid as a rock. And he was my favourite to be club captain this season. But I think, I'll give it to Ayling, but Alioski and Sez, quality players.
Yeah, without doubt. I like the look at Alioski. Palmer, thank you for your call. Absolutely outstanding, mate. Cheers, buddy. We've talked plenty about Leeds already this evening, but another West Yorkshire side who had an impressive start to the season, winning last week, is Bradford. On Saturday, they beat Rotherham 1-0 and they're third in League One. Will was there, and these were his views from the terraces. You please do send yours in as well. Get them into the show every single week. Check this out from Will.
Great 3 points against one of our bogey teams. It's put us up to third. Had to do a lot of defending. Not done that great so far this season. Got a clean sheet today. Really, really good performance. Didn't have that much up front, but the one chance we had, we put it away. Lots to be positive for.
That was Will with his views from the terrace after Bradford's 1-0 win over Rotherham. Right now, Josh, Bradford, another big club, big city. Obviously, from our point of view, Bradford Bulls in rugby, I was there this weekend. It's so important that Bradford Bulls eventually do get back to Super League because it's an internationally known brand as a city and it's close to Leeds. It's massive for West Yorkshire.
Massive for West Yorkshire, and you know, like say for the rugby and for the football. You know, whenever there is a Leeds Bradford derby, you know, whether it be Headingley or Ellen Road, it always packs out. It always gets people talking. Some people live in Bradford, work in Leeds, and vice versa. And it is good just for West Yorkshire.
Mate, without a doubt, we need some more callers. Any more callers, give us a call. You've got about 5 to 7 minutes to get through to the studio before the end of the show. 03333 403 703. No, if we got it there. Josh, I've got to ask you as well, Huddersfield Town. I think it's great for the region. We've got a Premiership team back in there. Even Sheffield United doing well as well this year. Everyone's pushing to get back to that Premier League.
Of course. Obviously, got Sheffield United as well in the Championship and looking to push up. And you know the Premiership's been missing a Yorkshire side for a while now, and you know obviously even though it pains me to say, you know, Huddersfield are up, they're up there and they've had a good start so far. So let's hope we can get a few more up there, and let's Yorkshire take over the Premier League.
Yorkshire, we love it. Okay, well, it's time for your final clues in this week's Who Are You? If you haven't got it by now, surely you will after this.
I'm 5'6" and I weigh 119 pounds.
I was named Sports Personality of the Year in 2002.
I'm 5'6" and I weigh 119 pounds.
I was named Sports Personality of the Year in 2002.
I am the female master of the ultimate race, the marathon.
I am 3-time winner of the London Marathon.
Have you got it? The answer is, of course, Paula Radcliffe. Did you get it, Josh?
That's a far cry from your guess of Lewis Hamilton.
Lewis Hamilton? What am I doing? Josh, let's take a look now ahead. Some big games coming up this week for the sides. Starting with Leeds United tomorrow night, they're up against Burnley in the League Cup. A reunion with Chris Wood, of course.
Yeah. Chris Wood. If he'll play, I don't know if he will do or not. I don't know if he's cup tied. Will Charlie Taylor play as well? Obviously going to Burnley, and I don't know. He'll probably get an hostile reception off the fans.
Will you boo him? Will you boo him?
Yeah, probably so. I would do if I was there. I'd probably so. You know, you're turning back on club, but you know you can't blame him. Yeah, one of them things.
Then at the weekend, it's back to the Championship action. Ipswich Town are the visitors to Ellen Road. Are you going down this weekend? Yeah,
I'll be going down, try to fit it in with my busy training schedule. But yeah, I'll be finishing my training, getting back down and supporting the boys.
On to the Huddersfield Town fixture. They face Crystal Palace in the League Cup tomorrow night. Can they repeat their opening day heroics? A 3-0 win on the first day of the season against Selhurst Park. Don't forget, then also at the weekend they travel to Burnley. Could be a big game in the relegation scrap. I don't know about that. No League Cup again action for Bradford, so their next game is away at Northampton in League One. And on to Rugby League. It's the final league match of the season. Leeds Rhinos before the semi-finals. They're away at Huddersfield on Friday night. That's it. It's all we've got time for tonight. It's absolutely flown by. Thanks to everyone, especially this man, Josh Warrington.
Thank you very much for having me.
Who's got involved tonight? All the callers, thank you so much for getting involved. Good luck in your fight next month, mate.
Cheers, mate.
21st of October, get down there. We'll be back again the same time next week. Goodbye for now. You've been amazing. This is Sportsline. Thank you and good night.